It's 7:03 on Friday, February 7th. We are at 44 degrees. It'll be a little warmer today. We are going up to the low 50s. Good morning. I'm John Aaron.
And I'm Kyle Cooper. The top local stories we're following for you this hour on WTOP. Federal workers have more time to figure out whether to accept the administration's deferred resignation offer. A judge has put a temporary pause on the plan. A court hearing is set for Monday. WTOP's Scott Gelman reports thousands of people considering that deal and worried about the attempts to shrink the federal workforce turned into a virtual town hall last night with members from Maryland's congressional delegation.
They ranged from asking what Congress is doing to support federal workers.
Congress may not have standing to sue, but we will urge people take this issue to court.
To wondering who can help the ones who don't belong to a union.
Nobody ought to think these suits are on behalf of just one person or of one group.
That's Maryland Congressman Steny Hoyer. The lawmakers are discouraging government employees from taking the offer, suggesting it's unclear whether it'll be honored. Prince George's County Council Chair Jolene Ivey, meanwhile, says anyone who's lost a job should consider applying for unemployment.
If you're interested in trying to find another job for the moment, I would urge you to go to Employ Prince George's and the American Job Center.
Scott Gelman, WTOP News.
With a midnight deadline approaching, groups representing foreign aid workers filed suit against the Trump administration last night to stop the taking apart of the U.S. Agency for International Development. WTOP's Neil Augenstein has the latest.
It's a humanitarian disaster.
As of 11:59 tonight, all but 300 USAID employees around the world will be on administrative leave. Attorney Lauren Bateman with Public Citizen, representing the American Federation of Government Employees and the American Foreign Service Association.
Congress established USAID as an independent agency separate from the State Department and specified that appropriations to fund the agency may not be used to implement a reorganization or redesign of the agency absent Congress.
Randy Chester with the Foreign Service Worker says children are being pulled from schools, spouses are losing jobs, and U.S. taxpayers will have to pay for what he calls a sudden, disorganized, and chaotic departure.
A low estimate of the cost to repatriate 1,400 officers and their families is over $20 million, and that's a low estimate.
Neil Augenstein, WTOP News.
The debate over D.C. home rule has come up frequently over the years. Now, two Republican lawmakers are proposing a new bill to eliminate it and give Congress more control over D.C. governance. WTOP's Lynn Bowie reports the bill is named after D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser.
The Bowser Act would revoke the D.C. Home Rule Act of 1973, which gives the district control of its own local affairs. That includes the ability to elect its own mayor and city council. Bowser stands for bringing oversight to Washington and safety to every resident. Two Republicans are sponsoring the bill and claim it's in response to corruption, crime, and the incompetence of the D.C. government. D.C. Shadow Representative Oye Owalewa is condemning the effort to repeal D.C. home rule. He says this bill is another attempt to strip D.C. residents of their fundamental right to self-governance. Lynn Bowie, WTOP News.
Billionaire Elon Musk's staff at DOGE is now said to be taking aim at the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, which is headquartered in downtown Silver Spring. The agency delivers daily weather forecasts and warnings, as well as monitors the climate. Senator Chris Van Hollen of Maryland and a former NOAA official posted on X this week that Musk had recently appointed a special government employee and had his sights set on NOAA. He says targeting NOAA will jeopardize critical work that saves lives.
All right, it could be a really interesting weather week beginning tomorrow. There's a chance of light snow with a mix of sleet and freezing rain starting Saturday afternoon. However, 7 News First Alert meteorologist Brian Vandegraff says that's not all.
You may be hearing a lot about some snow next Tuesday. It is a possibility, and it does look like our next best chance to see some accumulation, but our guidance has had no consistency, and it's been all over the place. A couple inches for sure, not out of the question, but as far as, double-digit amounts, that's not looking that likely, as we will see some mixing happening as well.
Okay, of course, whatever we get and when we get it, yes, you know where to tune. Right here, WTOP Traffic and Weather on the 8s.
And coming up in Money News.
The most likely to return to the office may seem the most unlikely to want to. I'm Jeff Claybaugh.
It's 7:08.